music, and you're going to love the artist even more, especially when you find out right about now that he is a Kababayan. Welcome to Kababayan, LA, Joe Bataan.
Thank you. Nice to be here again.
I am so proud of you, and I'm so honored that you are here with us despite having had a concert last night
Yes.
at Central Park in New York.
Right.
Can you imagine that? He flew in this morning. His flight got delayed, but you're still here. You must be tired.
Well, I wouldn't want to miss your show. You know, you were so gracious the last time I was here, and actually you increased my following.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. See, not too many people know that you are Filipino.
True.
Why do you think that is? You've performed everywhere to different audiences, but a friend of mine, Winston Emano, Film Arts,
yes,
actually told me the first time you performed for your own kind, for your people, is at FPAC.
That's right.
Yeah.
Winston was responsible for bringing me and opening me up to the Filipino community. And of course, you know, for a long time in New York, my father lived there, and there weren't many Filipinos. You know, if there were 10 of them, they'd play cards and they'd hang out and they're very quiet. And so I didn't grow up with Filipinos. I grew up with Puerto Ricans and Latinos, so that was like part of my culture. But in 1976, I recorded an album. I was looking for my identity, and I recorded Afro-Filipino. And I said, well, maybe somebody will look and find out that I'm part Filipino. But
what happened to that?
Nothing happened, but it was gradually going underground, and I had no idea while my career was going on that there was some buzz. People were coming around from the community and saying, oh, this guy's Filipino. No, he can't be Filipino.
Right, because you don't look Filipino. Your mom is African-American.
Yes, yes.
And also, when they traced your roots, you were born in Spanish Harlem in New York City, where you actually became a leader of a Puerto Rican gang.
Isn't that ironic?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I mean, things have changed, but it was a way of surviving back then. You know, if you didn't belong to somebody, you were a loner. You were left out of the mix.
And because of that feeling of belonging you got with a different kind of group, you actually got sent to a correctional facility for stolen car charge. What happened?
At that time, in 1959, they had these automatic cars that came out on the market, and all you had to do was press a button.
Okay.
So my friend told me, look, we got a car you can learn how to drive. You don't have to take lessons. You just press the button and the car goes. So we got in the car, and lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, that we started pressing the button, and the car kept banging up, and we kept banging into different cars.
Oh, goodness.
The next time when I looked up, there was a guard up there pointing at me, come on, you're under arrest.
Right.
And that was history.
Well, your friend left out the part that you actually had to own the car.
No, we didn't own the car.
Exactly. He left that part out. That's why. But, okay, and after that, that's when you learned music. And for a lot of people, you know, they needed something. For some people, if you grew up in an environment like that, it's sports. You know, just to take your mind away from bad elements of the society. Why music?
Well, at that time, when you grow up, you know, in the surroundings that I did, you had two choices. You either become a sports figure, like you said, or you went into the entertainment field, because we didn't have money to go to college and have a higher education at that time. We were living minimally, you know. And so I chose the music when I found out that I couldn't be Jackie Robinson and a baseball player. God blessed me.
Right.
And allowed me to sing, and I've been doing it all my life, and I enjoy it.
Well, the sporting industry's loss is the music industry's gain. Yes. You are influenced by two musical styles, Latin boogaloo and African-American doo-wop. I hear that a lot from my mom, the boogaloo. What is that? Okay,
well, what it is, boogaloo is just a term, and it was a craze at that time back in the 60s where kids got together and they would dance for $1, and you would hear this dancing to the cha-cha beat, but with English lyrics.
Okay.
So that was the difference, and it brought people from all walks of life in to enjoy this music. Well, eventually it died out, but now there's a resurgence. As you know, in Central Park last night, we had 3,000 people there screaming off their heads.
Wow.
People were having a long... I've been doing this around the world.
Right.
It just took New York, who's the universal place of music, to find out that it's a big commodity.
Yeah.
You know?
Latin boogaloo, and that's just genius, an African-American doo-wop. So different influences, and you merge that together in order to create your own unique sound. So if it were all up to you, how would you describe your music?
You know, someone said that. He said, where do you rack Joe Bataan? Where do you put his records on the shelf?
Yes, you can't quite.
So people could find him.
Right.
And he says, you put it in Latin? He says, no, because you lose out what he does with soul. So you put it in soul. He says, no.
Right.
You put it in world music.
World music, okay.
And then you will find Joe Bataan because he does everything.
And what do you think is the most special, most unique thing about your sound, your flavor of music?
My sound is that it's a universal language and it captivates audiences for some reason because you can understand it. You don't have to be from a certain culture and not understand my music, because if you understand the beat, you can also understand the language and vice versa. You know, so this music is pulsating.
Right.
It takes you over.
You're actually blending really, really nice, captivating beat, but then at the same time, really, really deep, significant lyrics to it. What is the most important thing you think in music? Can you take one over the other, music or lyrics, beat or
No,
lyrics?
you need both. You see, for me, who wasn't Elton John or the Beatles, my music lived on underground, and it had to do with my lyrics. So to this day, it's synonymous that when you hear Joe Bataan, you know his stories because he sang of prayers to God. He sang about street gang. He sang about uptown, the streets that happened, falling in love, being blind.
Everything.
Everything I could think of.
Right. And we are going to get a sample when we return on Kababayan LA. Joe Bataan, our Kababayan. I'm very proud of him. You should be too. Ang